Appreciative Inquiry. I've never had one of these trainings.
Sounds interesting.
This was one of my mentor, Tak, remember Tak Yogi? Some of you may remember Tak. They were part of developing this methodology, but I find it a little bit intellectual. It's more science-based. The fundamental idea is it has become increasingly common for organizations to approach change and growth from a problem-solving perspective. As firms aim to improve efficiency, etc., AI proponents argue that there has come to be an unhealthy overemphasis on fixing what's wrong, so a deficit-based approach. So appreciative inquiry, right? The words tell you what it is. So you challenge to these ingrained assumptions and propose that organizations can benefit instead from what is called a strength-based affirmative approach. So you look at positive core strength. So this positive core is not vastly different from the way we view organizational strength in conventional management. So it encompasses values, beliefs, and capabilities of our organization when it's at its best, and collective understanding around what makes up the best of us. So you see paradigm one, you felt the need, you identified a problem, you analyze the causes, you analyze possible solutions, you do your action planning, the treatment to the need. Then in appreciative inquiry, you value the best of what is. So let's say watersheds and communities. You value the best of what is. You envision what might be. You dialogue what should be. And then you innovate what will be. Does that make sense? Whereas instead of coming from the problem. AI has emerged as an alternative approach to organizational change, based on the principle that positive organizational futures can be reached through collective involvement and methods that affirm, compel, and accelerate anticipatory learning. So there's this model and theory with the 4D model, which is discovery, the best of what is, dream, what could be, design, what should be, delivery, what will we do. And you will, however, see a fifth step, which is define. So what is discover? Focus during this phase is searching for and identifying what gives the organization life. Past successes can be discussed and explored, and in each instance, the goal is to hone in on what has enabled them. So think about it like if FS did this. We'll say, what has given the organization life? What are our past successes? Then we can learn what enabled them to be successful. Kan? This is all about active inquiry. Internal stakeholders can ask each other questions to discover the best of what is. So we'll say, what got FS here? What is the best of what is FS? Why did that happen? So instead of if we do a retreat and we talk about what are the problems in Sabah?
Strategic planning normally like that. Kan?
Yeah. What are the issues we're working on? Kan? Then dream. Dream is about imagining potential positive futures for the organization. So you already be like, oh, we're really good at this. This is why we became good at this. Okay, let's think about the future. Let's dream. A wide range of participants has ideally been engaged. This will represent multiple perspectives, opinions, and understanding. It will unlock creative, constructive visions and possibilities. Through language and imagery, we'll co-create futures. Then design. Co-creation continues through this phase, but the focus shifts to debating and discussing the possibilities already generated. The goal is to reach a shared vision or value that the team or participants see as having real positive potential. Then destiny. The goal of this final phase is to construct futures through innovation and action. The vision, system, or structures that have been designed are committed to as possible means of achieving them are further refined through individual commitment. So I think maybe a little twist on what we've been talking about already, which is to focus on the positive, the best of what is. And then, just build on that. What's been the best of what FS does? And then we focus our growth in that direction. Does that make sense? I think you can see from Appreciative Inquiry, AI, not artificial intelligence, that itu konsep tu ada sudah dalam tu words kan? Yeah. Okay, last few minutes before makan. How does it all come together? OST, the U, World Cafe, Appreciative Inquiry. This is not meant to bog your brain down, but if you were to synthesize where you think is relevant, borrow here and there, if you can integrate so that kau bila tiba satu masa kau pun boleh, I'm gonna use this question. I'm gonna say, like everybody there, lemas already in the circle. Orang kampung sad because banyak masalah. So then you say, then you do appreciative inquiry. What's the best of what is? What has been great in this kampung? What have we, we've been able to protect our watershed. Oh yeah, how did you do that? Oh, okay, so you guys learn how to do that. Then you start to dream into the future based on that. I was very surprised last time. Remember the Malwa Biobank? Do any of you remember that? You must remember the Malwa Biobank.
Yeah. Which part of the
Well, because we were part of the initiation of the Malwa Biobank, and then I was chairing the advisory council. Then we were all, and it was all the big brains, because these are all content experts. And they believe they are the expert of that content. No one else knows better than them. But I had them in a circle. So, and I did check-ins. And I used post-its. And I used timelines and everything. And they had a great time. Sometimes it's not because they don't want to do something or whatever. They don't know that even exists. You see what I mean? Some of you, I guess, may remember way back when some things that we facilitated at Sabah Forestry, where we put everybody in circles. And then everyone's like, come in the room like, what the hell? A big circle. But they had fun. I think people are liberated when you say, you don't have to be in this format. You can do this format. Yeah. That's why, for me, this session is important for the whole organization. It's one thing for me to do it, one thing for a few of us to do it, but it's another thing for the institution to say we use a facilitative leadership approach, because all our issues are complex. all of it impacts many people. The risks are high. You see what I mean? And then as we go deeper and deeper into climate issues and it impacts food and all these things, nobody has expertise in a way, because we're all learning, because every year it changes. You think you know the musim, you think you know when is the wet, when is the dry. Who says you know? Because it's changing. So if you look at the Forever Sabah landscape, you can also look at it through the lens of open space. Basically, all our projects happen in that spirit of open space. There is enough people passionate enough about an issue, prepared to take responsibility, and we facilitated that. We took all the voices, then we turn it into an action, and then we go and raise funds for it, and we implement it. It's just open space. Think about a couple of scenarios that you think are typical in our work. Let's say the divide between communities and government, or private sector and communities, whatever, I don't know. So talk about it over lunch and say, if there are two scenarios where you want to test out these different methodologies, what are those two scenarios? And then we'll do that in the afternoon.